No one expected Paddy McGuinness to go silent for days, but when he finally spoke, his message carried a kind of heaviness that stopped fans in their tracks. It wasn't just grief. It was something deeper, something that sounded almost like unfinished business. And when he opened up about Gary "Monty" Mounfield, the legendary bassist whose rhythm shaped an entire generation, it became painfully clear. This loss hit him harder than anyone realized. Paddy's tribute wasn't a polished media statement. It felt raw, unfiltered, almost as if he was speaking straight from a place he hadn't visited in years. When he called Monty a legend, it wasn't in the way people casually use the word online. He meant it. You could hear it in his tone, a tone that carried sadness, admiration, and the weight of memories he wished could play one more time. For Paddy, Monty represented more than music. He was the energy of Manchester, the sound, the pride, the pulse of a city built on heart and grit. When news broke of Monty's passing at just 63, many mourned the musician, but Paddy mourned the man, the friend, the presence that brightened every room with humor, humility, and a kind of honesty you don't find in the industry anymore. He spoke about Monty's legacy not as something written in magazines or celebrated on stages, but as something lived, something felt. The thundering bass lines that defined the Stone Roses, the fearless reinvention he brought to Primal Scream, the countless shows where Monty's rhythm stitched together moments fans still hold close to their hearts today. He didn't crave the spotlight. He carried it effortlessly just by being himself. But behind Paddy's words was another kind of heartbreak. Monty leaving behind his twin sons and the memory of his late wife Imelda, who passed away 2 years earlier. Paddy spoke with the tenderness of someone who knew love and loss were two halves of the same story. The idea of Monty being reunited with Imelda was both comforting and devastating, a reminder of how fragile time truly is. Paddy also reflected on something that now feels more tragic than anyone expected. Just months before his death, Monty had announced a speaking tour set for 2026, a chance to share his journey, his struggles, his triumphs. That tour was supposed to be his voice echoing into the world once more, and now it will never happen. The story Monty wanted to tell remains unfinished, hanging in silence. What made Paddy's tribute so powerful was that he didn't just talk about the music. He talked about the man behind it, the quiet generosity, the loyalty to friends, the goofy humor that caught people off guard, the conversations shared in private moments. He admitted, with heartbreaking honesty, that he wished he had said more while Monty was still here, that he had made more time, that he had expressed the things we all assume we'll have endless chances to say until suddenly we don't. As tributes poured in from across the world, Ian Brown's simple farewell, Liam Gallagher calling Monty my hero, messages from musicians, actors, and fans, Paddy looked beyond the fame. He saw the person who touched thousands of lives not with ego, but with kindness, with sincerity, with rhythm that came from somewhere deeper than technique. Even Manchester United, the club Monty loved with every beat of his heart, honored him as a passionate, lifelong Red. For Monty, music and football were woven together, two passions that defined his life and connected him to his city in a way few could ever match. Paddy's voice cracked when he spoke about how rare someone like Monty truly is. Not just a musical talent, but a soul that made people feel seen, valued, and understood. He didn't care about fame. He cared about people. He cared about the moment. And that, Paddy said, is what made him unforgettable. In his tribute, Paddy asked people not just to mourn Monty, but to celebrate him, to listen to his work again, feel that iconic bass line in their chest, relive that electric energy he brought into the world. Because even though Monty is gone, his rhythm continues. It moves through memories, through music, through every person whose life he touched. And somewhere between Paddy's pain and pride, you can feel a truth that lingers long after the last note fades. Legends are defined by the stages they stand on. They're defined by the hearts they leave beating behind them. Gary "Monty" Mounfield was more than a musician. He was a presence, a story, a heartbeat. And through the people who loved him, like Paddy, that heartbeat will never truly stop.